NL All-Star Johnny Cueto has done everything the Giants have asked him to do this season. But now they're asking for one more thing. Stop the one-man wrecking crew by the name of Nolan Arenado. It's Cueto versus Arenado, Giants-Rockies, and it's coming up next.
Here we are back at AT&T Park after a long night of baseball last night as we get ready to wrap up this three-game series, Rockies and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the winner of this game wins the series, and then the Giants have an off day tomorrow and welcome in the D-backs on Friday night. This is a big start for the Giants, and I can't think of a better guy on the hill than Johnny Cueto.
Well, I can't think of a better guy on the hill than Johnny Cueto either. I mean, he's been fantastic and an all-star pitcher, and he's making his first start after being named an all-star. And he's going to try and be the stopper tonight. The Giants had an emotional loss last night in Game 2 of this series, and Johnny Cueto is going to try and get him back on track. The one thing he's going to have to do, though, he's going to have to keep Nolan Arenado in the yard. He continues to haunt the Giants, and hopefully tonight Johnny can figure him out.
Albert Suarez is here, and he is available to pitch tonight out of the bullpen. All right, stay tuned. We'll take you to our CSN Bay Area studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, we've got a chilly one at AT&T Park tonight. Fans better bundle up as they get ready for a rubber match and the series finale between your San Francisco Giants and the Colorado Rockies. Welcome back to our broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. And how about Mac Williamson back in the lineup this evening? No surprise after the way he's been flashing the leather this series. He's made several spectacular catches, but the one last night, top of the third, bases loaded, 2 outs, Trevor Story at the plate. Yep, that's the best, and it is our greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile, and our Dwayne Kuiper has the call.
Long run for Mac Williamson. I don't think he's going to get there. He slides, and he makes the catch. Unbelievable. Mac Williamson saves 3 runs. What a play.
So a Madison Bumgarner hug kind of says it all, but I did speak with Madison today, and he added that when a teammate lays out like that, showing extreme effort, it means the world to him and shows him what kind of teammate he's playing with. All right, Johnny Cueto on the hill for you tonight. We've got Kruk and Kite, we've got lineups, we've got first pitch, series finale coming up. Stay with us.
The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 59 degrees here at the park. See winds at 13 miles per hour. Humidity is fairly high. And as I mentioned, it is breezy and cool. We're waiting on Johnny Cueto to come out of the Giants dugout. The lineup that he's going to face is a pretty familiar lineup. Couple of changes. It'll be Blackmon in center field, followed by LeMahieu, and then that guy. Gonzalez is going to hit in the 4 slot. Then it's Story, the local kid Descalzo. Barnes gets a start. Tony Walters gets a start. And the lefty, the very deliberate lefty, Jorge De La Rosa, is going to hit in the 9th spot.
Not your favorite getaway day pitcher, Jorge De La Rosa.
No, he's not.
Deliberate is another word for slow. Right now, however, it's time for our Nissan keys to the game. But number one, Arenado. Yeah, you got to handle Arenado. He has been so good for so long against the Giants. This is his get well team. Do not let him beat you. That is the number one Nissan key. The second one is offense. Find the rhythm up and down. Set the table. Keep the line moving, as the skipper likes to say. Those are our Nissan keys to the game. And Johnny Cueto leading out his team. A 2-time All-Star. Just named to the 2016 All-Star team along with Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey. Let's take a look at the numbers for Cueto. In 17 starts, Cueto 12-1 with a 2.57 ERA. He's an innings eater, 122 innings here in the first half. 107 strikeouts against 23 walks. And when you take your at-bats against him, you know, you're aware that he's got a good fastball. He'll go 90-95 depending on the count, the situation, or if you just play tick him off. He'll give you a curveball, slider, really good changeup, and he will throw anything in any count, and he'll also throw it from a variety of different motions. We mentioned 17 starts for Cueto this first half. Giants are 15-2 in those 17 starts.
No, not bad.
And he's being asked again tonight to stop a losing streak. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Johnny Cueto tonight. Starting the Giants outfield from left to right will be Parker, Pagan, and Williamson. Parker, Williamson, the best arms in the outfield. Crawford, Tejada on the left side of the infield. Green and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So Charlie Blackmon's going to lead things off. Giants won on Monday on the 4th of July. They won 3-1. And in a very long game last night, a bullpen meltdown, and the Rockies beat the Giants 7-3. So here we go for the final game of this 3-game series. These teams have played each other even, as there's a call strike. So we get started 1 minute late. And it's 0-1 to Charlie Blackmon. And that's out of play. I mentioned they played even. The Giants are 6-6 against the Rockies. 0-2 to Blackmon. And this is hit way out into right center field. Is somebody going to get there? And it's going to be Mac Williamson in front of Angel Pagan. Everything's a bit of an adventure, and it's been that way since Monday.
All right, right now it's time for our Togo's Big Play, the Togo's way. And Friday against the Diamondbacks, Johnny Cueto, he went 7 innings, 7 hits allowed, 4 earnings, 9 strikeouts. He picked up his 12th win of the year, tied for the most in the National League with Jake Arrieta. That's our Togo's Big Play.
So stepping in is DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu hitting .328, 5 home runs, 31 driven in, and there's a call strike. LeMahieu's had 20 at bats lifetime against Cueto, and he's had 6 hits. And now he has 7 hits as that ball was up a little bit, and LeMahieu wraps it into center field. So here's Arenado. Arenado last night 1 for 4, but the one hit knocked in 3 runs. 2 for 4 on Monday as he stands in against Johnny Cueto here in the first inning. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
Perfect knee-high location. Pretty good strike zone to work with tonight for the pitchers. Rob Drake, the plate umpire, he's a low ball guy, but he will call high strikes. Not a big zone. The one thing about Drake, that you don't have to throw it between the knees to get the strike, though.
0-2.
Rest of the umpires: Sam Holbrook over first base, Jerry Davis, the crew chief, at second. Carlos Torres is at third base tonight.
LeMahieu 7 steals. He's been thrown out 5 times. And that got Buster Posey right square in the mask. It stays at 0-2.
Fastball fouled right. Maybe caught a bit of the glove, but for the most part is a direct hit to the cage.
So Cueto ahead 0-2. On the ground to third. That's 1. That's 2. And that'll end the inning. Nolan Arenado just made 2 outs on 1 swing.
I don't believe it.
Giants lineup, and it'll be Pagan, Green, and then Brandon Belt, and his numbers against the Rockies this season very good. Followed by Posey, Crawford, and then Mac Williamson. Ruben Tejada gets a start. He hits 7th. Parker 8th, and Cueto 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Colorado Rockies will be the 35-year-old left-hander Jorge De La Rosa. He's in his 12th year at the big league level. This is what he has done this year. 5-5 with a 5.98 ERA, 53 strikeouts in 55 innings. He's got good stuff. You'll see a low to mid-90s fastball, more lows than mids. He will sink and cut it. He's got a curveball, a slider, and he'll throw a split finger fastball, and it's a good one. When he gets that thing working, it's his best strikeout pitch. De La Rosa lifetime against the Giants 11-6 with a 3.85 ERA. That's at 24 starts. He's always pitched well against San Francisco, and he is very deliberate.
Pagan 1 for 5. He had a triple in the game last night. He had 2 hits on Monday. Pretty consistent. He's been around the 280 to 300 mark all year. And a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. He's had 38 lifetime at bats against De La Rosa. He's had 10 hits. 4 of those 10 hits doubles. And this is lifted to left for Barnes. And Barnes will make the play. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the Rockies defensively. What do you say? Starting in the outfield from left to right, it'll be Barnes, Blackmon, and Gonzalez, the best arm in right field. Story, Arenado on the left side, LeMahieu, Descalzo on the right side. Tony Walters, he gets the call tonight. He'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Green hitting at .318. Kid from Fullerton, California, with 2 runs batted in. And he takes low. He's never faced De La Rosa before. We break down Green's at bats. He's 7 for 22. And he takes high. 2 balls and no strikes. On the appeal, no swing. Belt on deck. Giants are 5-5 in their last 10 games. The Rockies are 4-6. And the 2-0. And that's down the right field line. That'll be foul. A little nasty spin for
Simon Tickman, our ball dude down the first base side. He almost made a pretty good play there. But you can't do it in great tennis shoes. You look out. I'm saying he held it almost long enough. It's our X Moments brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
It says on here his bio that his favorite player is Will Clark. He said he saw Will wear those shoes, so he wanted to get a pair himself.
Well, and he saw Will wear his socks like that too. So, Will, if you're watching,
I mean, where do you see Will? At the mall wearing those?
Yeah.
I don't know. Think Will's got a pair that looks like that? I don't think so. 3-2.
A pair like that, maybe.
Yeah. And the payoff now to Green. And Green takes ball 4. First base runner for the Giants, and here's Belt.
Now De La Rosa can get a wild hair up his nose. I mean, in 55 innings, he's got 28 walks, now 29. That is not anything that's unusual.
Belt out of play.
Had him played just right.
And the pitch is a called strike. It's 0-2.
Let's take a look at the foul ball. I got this one. I got this one. Yeah. Well, he had a decision. Do I ruin my dinner and try and catch it with my plate, or do I try the barehanded one-hander?
Hit high and deep. Gonzalez back. Gonzalez at the wall. It's off the bottom of the wall. And then it dies. Here comes Green. Belt is going to be held up at third. It's 1-0 Giants.
The winds have really been difficult for any pop-up or fly ball the last 2 homestands. And you look at Gonzalez going back measuring. And he just absolutely either didn't see it or misjudged it horribly. Because in the end, it looks like he hit right at the base of the wall. I don't know if he even hit the wall.
Infield in for Posey, and Posey with a mighty rip and a foul back, and it's 0-1.
It is so difficult to explain what the winds will do to a fly ball or a pop-up in this ballpark, because the wind is not predictable, and as it swirls, the movement on the ball will change. Nobody feels very comfortable standing underneath a fly ball here, and that's the way it's been the last 2 homestands. Tonight, no exception.
And a bit low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's what De La Rosa wanted. He thought he had a strike.
Foul back, 1-2. Buster against De La Rosa, 10 for 36. He's got 4 doubles lifetime and a home run. Yep, it's working.
Well, yeah. I think that had got Brandon Bell all kinds of hits this year.
Foul back. So Posey digging it out. It stays at 1-2. Crawford on deck. Good view of Brandon Crawford and Buster Posey. Got him.
Big curveball, and Posey just kind of gave up on it. And in Posey's mind, he's thinking this is high. And I don't blame him. That thing started out looked like it was head high before it started to break down, and it drops right in the middle of the strike zone. And that was a bit high.
Here's Crawford. Crawford at 270. Overshift is on for Crawford. And he shoots it into center field. And it's going to fall. And he knocks in Belt, and it's 2-0. Nice at bat, Brandon Crawford.
Well, you cannot convince me that he didn't go up there looking for a breaking ball. Saw it, waited, and then a nice disciplined stroke, taking it right back up the middle. RBI number 54. And just watch the back leg, receive the ball, good balance through the hips, no lean on his front leg there. He was looking that speed.
Here's Mac Williamson. And Mac Williamson both cheeks into that one, and it's foul straight back.
And the littlest guy in the section got the ball.
Unbelievable. Down low, nice block by Walters.
Take a look at the usage of the pitches for De La Rosa, and you know, he throws just about everything equally, and that includes the fastball. Most every pitcher will throw more fastballs than everything else, but not so with De La Rosa. Splitters, cutters, curveballs.
And a shot foul.
Ooh, not by much. Carlos Torres, the third base umpire, making the call. And how foul was it? Foul. About a foot.
And a toss to first. Crawford back. Crawford's got 3 steals. He has not been caught this year. It's high. So he threw the same pitch that he threw to Buster Posey, except the one to Posey was a little bit more crisp. Williamson flips one out to right, and Gonzalez is there, and that'll end the inning. So the Giants score 2 on a walk and 2 hits. Belt a big hit, Crawford a big hit, and after one they lead 2-0. Giants have opened up a 2-0 lead as we head to the second inning. And it'll be Carlos Gonzalez to lead things off. And Gonzalez takes in tight. Gonzalez at .315. 18 home runs, 51 runs batted in. And he flips this one into center field for a base hit. D-backs will join us at AT&T Park this Friday, July 8th through Friday the 10th. Saturday the 9th, it's the first 20,000 fans are going to receive a Cueto or Samardzija jersey t-shirt. And then on Sunday the 11th, it's Hello Kitty Day, and the Giants are giving away Hello Kitty tote bags to the first 20,000 fans. sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Trevor Story. Big first half for Trevor Story. He looks at a strike. 0 for 3 on Monday. And then Trevor Story had the worst luck I've seen in a long time in the game last night. He went 0 for 5. Probably could have been 3 for 5, maybe 4. But Mac Williamson made a couple of great plays on him. That's way outside and low to even the count.
Lowest ERA after the first inning, Johnny Cueto, 1.88. That's on top of the heap, and that even includes Clayton Kershaw. And the first inning is like a lot of guys who are great pitchers. They're finding their rhythm, and that's when they're most vulnerable. And that's when he has his highest ERA. After that, he shuts it down.
Two balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez, only a couple of steals. Bouncing ball to Crawford. Crawford to Green. Green to Belt. We've seen that before. 2 down. Check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, I have some injury updates on your San Francisco Giants. Corey Guerin placed on the disabled list with a shoulder strain, and Albert Suarez has rejoined the team. Also, Matt Cain going to start his rehab assignment Friday for the AAA River Cats at Denard Span. Guys feeling much better, took BP today. He should be in the starting lineup on Friday. Guys?
All right. See, Amy G with good news.
Always good news.
She's the good news girl. There's a strike, and it's 0-1. See the Giants on the mend. It'll be Kane, Duffy, Panik, Pence, Tomlinson, and Guerin. To Belt. Belt says, I got this one. And with those 16 flippers, he beats Descalzo to the bay. 2-0. Tejada coming up.
Bay Area is brought to you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/road trip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
It's 2-0 Giants. As Tejada is going to lead things off. And Tejada takes a pitch down low. Ruben Tejada starting to show some signs of knocking off some of that rust. Fouls this one back. Jared Parker and then Johnny Cueto. Bottom of the first inning here at AT&T Park. Another sellout crowd. On the ground, Arenado knocks it down, and he'll throw from his knee, and Descalzo digs it out. 1 out.
Nice play. We see that a lot with ground balls hit towards the third base sack here when you play the Rockies. Arenado, a Gold Glover. Just fearless, really. You're just kind of on the fly, making up a play, and a nice pick on the backside of it too from Daniel Descalzo. He doesn't do a lot of first base. A utility player, but that was a good pick. It's the big leagues.
So here's Parker. Parker in the game yesterday. This one out to right. He breaks his bat, and it's going to fall. Big swing, little bloop, great combination.
Well, and when you're a big guy and they expect you to hit the ball far, anytime the ball comes off the bat in the air, they're thinking right away it's going to be more than sometimes what it usually is. So that bat was a good bat. Gave itself up for a knock.
Yes, it did. Parker had been shut out in the game yesterday, 0 for 4. So Johnny Cueto will try to move him along into scoring position here in the second inning. And he takes low and squirts away from Walters.
Bunt should go down the first base line, but you can't bunt it too hard. Descalso has a great arm at first base.
Pops this one to the backstop. And that's the first strike. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cueto's got 6 sacrifice bunts. And that's fouled off. It's 1-2. Pagan on deck. And it flips it into center field, a base hit. Johnny Cueto with his 3rd hit of the year. He's now 3 for 41.
Well, he's got his own style with everything that he does. And not even a sign of bunting, but the one thing, watch the little step that he walks into it. I mean, he starts with a back of the box and then he kind of walks up on it. Goes it right back up the middle. So just watching the footwork is a little unorthodox. I don't think he does anything conventional.
No, he does not. And it's why he's fun to watch. Pagan hit a fly ball to left in the first inning. And he takes in tight. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Grant Green, and this is bounce. It could be a pair. And Story short of first. Will be in time. 2 hits and then a double play. After 2, Giants lead 2-0.
lead over the Rockies as we head into the top of the third. We have a very special guest with us. Niners fans, behave yourself. Brett Favre is in the house wearing a Giants cap. We love that. Tell us why you're visiting the Bay Area.
My wife is actually doing Vineman this week, which is the half Ironman up just north of the city. So we decided to bring the family out and make a week of it. It's been great.
So she's the true athlete in the family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no way I could do a half Ironman.
So tell us a little bit about your baseball background, because we only know you from football and you're here at a Giants game. You grew up in Mississippi. What's your connection to baseball, if there is one?
Well, actually, baseball was my favorite sport. It was actually the sport that I thought if I had a chance to play professional, it would have been baseball. Turns out I started as a true freshman in college in football, and I decided to, because I was going to play both at Southern Miss. My dad was American Legion baseball coach for 30 some odd years. He played actually at Southern Miss with, of all people, Ray Guy. They were teammates together. Baseball was my first love. But as bad as I hated to give it up, it was the best move.
Ray Guy, a Raider, and actually the Raiders' current quarterback, Derek Carr, has been compared to you and recently said you're his favorite player, and he wears the number 4 in your honor, a gunslinger he's been called. Well, what are your thoughts on the comparison?
I don't know if I'd consider him a gunslinger. I think he's a little more polished, and I mean that with all due respect. I think he's done a tremendous job with Oakland, and yeah, I like the way he plays. But again, I think he's a little more polished, as I would say. But I like to watch him. Good player.
Next couple of weeks are going to be exciting for you, and you're going to be headed into the Hall of Fame. Just your thoughts on what you can share with the Bay Area audience and what that means to you.
Well, it means a great deal, obviously. You know, and Niner fans, as well as a lot of Niners players, are part of that, good and bad. You know, it's what makes the NFL so special. You know, rivalries, tradition, things like that. And I had some wonderful experiences. Had a major defeat out here when Terrell caught the last second play against us. Mooch is one of my closest friends, and I consider him family, and of course was a coach out here. I've been fortunate to play a long time and play at a high enough level that people thought I was worthy of Hall of Fame status, and I'm honored and extremely grateful for that. But you know, what I cherish probably more than anything are those memories, good and bad. You know, like I just spoke about. So it'll be quite an honor in a few weeks, but I'll be glad when it's over too.
Well, it's a true honor to have you here. Thanks for taking the time. And Dwayne, our broadcaster from Wisconsin, we wish you had your cheese head here. And Brett Favre, pretty cool, guys.
Feels like Wisconsin here.
A little chilly.
All right, thanks, Amy, and thanks to Brett Favre, who really is only a couple of booths down. And I had a chance to meet him just briefly as he was walking around with his wife and Larry Baer. This is some of the notes on Brett Favre. 508 touchdowns. Look at that.
How about sacked 525 times?
He also threw some interceptions, but that's the way he was. He let it fly.
Oh, he was fun to watch.
I wonder what position, if he was going to try to pursue, what it would have been. I mean, obviously, you think probably could have been a pitcher.
Well, with that arm, yeah, he could have pitched and he'd have been a flamethrower. But
you look at him now, he looks like a third baseman.
Third base, put him in the outfield. I think he's a good enough athlete to pretty much play wherever he wanted to. But congratulations to him, and certainly way worthy of the Hall of Fame. And to do it for 20 years, I mean, that's just remarkable.
He said something that it's the shortstop they're telling us in pitcher. He said something that I think rings true to all of us. When it's all said and done, and when you're away from it a long time, you do cherish the good memories and you cherish the ones that weren't so good, because that's what makes the sport.
Yeah.
Hit on the ground sharply, Crawford with a tricky hop. but that's going to end the inning. So Cueto with a 1-2 inning here in the third. Giants lead 2-0.
Is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Giants have scheduled their peanut allergy friendly games this summer. It's Monday, July 25th. It's Thursday, August 17th. And your special event ticket includes a seat in a peanut control section at AT&T Park. sfgiants.com/special events. Here's Green. Green fouls it back. He drew a walk in the first inning and scored. You found out something about Grant Green today.
Well, yeah, I mean, here's a guy that grew up in Southern California, Newport Beach, and his father was a Giants fan, raised in the Bay Area, and he raised Grant to be a Giants fan. He said, I was like the only one, there was only one other guy in my school, and me. We were the Giants fans. And so I said, well, who's your favorite Giant? Oh, JT Snow was my guy. He says, to this day, I'll be in the same room with JT Snow and I'll feel like I'm 12 years old.
0-2 to Green with Belt on deck. And they're going to say Green went around. And that would be Sam Holbrook. Quick trigger.
I don't know about that one. I'd like to see that from the side. Well, if you ask him, you shall receive. Did he go? Yeah, that's the gray area. And Sam Holbrook.
Here's Belt. Belt with a triple in the first. Knocked in his 46th run. Pitch is in tight for a ball, 1-0. Buster Posey on deck. Giants 2, Rockies nothing. Here on a cool night. Bell hits a high fly ball left field. Moving back is Barnes, and Barnes is going to put it away. Someplace else, maybe, not here.
Yeah, that's the one you don't get here. I mean, you get it in places like Colorado or Arizona, Philadelphia. And those are the ones that the players think about. I think, gee, if I was there, I'd have one more home run.
Buster struck out looking in the first. Popped him up. Somebody's going to have to make the call, and it's Arenado, and he hangs in there and puts it away. 7-pitch inning for De La Rosa. We'll head to the 4th. It's 2-0 Giants.
Brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
2-0 Giants, top of the order for the Rockies, and that means Charlie Blackmon will lead things off. Blackmon, LeMahieu, Arenado. And a strike, and it's 0-1.
First pitch changeup. That's the other thing too about Johnny Cueto. I mean, you watch how he mixes up the first pitch. That's a big pitch for him. I mean, he wants to get on top of you quick. 0-1. But it'll always be something that you don't expect. At least it seems that way when you're hitting off it. He'll open up with a fastball. He'll cut it. He'll sink it. He'll open you up with the changeup, curveball, slide, everything he has, and from different windups. That first pitch is huge for him.
Blackmon just got a piece to stay alive. Didn't get much of it, but just enough. And he shoots one up the middle for a base hit. He looked back at Buster Posey and tapped himself on the chest like that was his fault, and just wondering if it was location that he was blaming himself for.
Meanwhile, our skateboarding dog out on the port walk. I love this guy. There's his owner right behind him. They have an act down. I mean, he'll kick it back to his owner and he'll ride a little bit longer and give it off to the dog.
Here's LeMahieu. LeMahieu singled in the first inning. And the first pitch is very high. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnny Cueto wants a new baseball. Arenado on deck, and then Carlos Gonzalez. Blackman's got 8 steals. He's been thrown out 4 times. Cueto's pretty quick to first base. Two and 0.
Always a chance for a play here. LeMahieu goes to right field as good as anybody in the game. Good pad control guy. Cueto has a very good move. He will definitely shorten a guy's lead at first. Not an easy pitcher to steal off of.
Up the middle, and that's going to sneak through for a base hit. LeMahieu has always had the magic one-do against the Giants.
Now it seems that way. He can find a hole in the infield.
Hit a 3-run home run last night. Arenado did, to beat the Giants.
It's a slider that didn't do a whole lot from Corey Guerin. Corey Guerin went on the disabled list today with some tenderness in his shoulder. And it probably explains a lot as to why that was a hanging slider. Guerin's really had a great slider the last 3 weeks. It's been snapping. That time it didn't. And now we know why.
Well, the Rockies set the table for Arenado. Out of play, no balls and 1 strike.
With Guerin going on the disabled list, you saw Albert Suarez called back. He's in the dugout tonight. He'll be in the bullpen. Well, that's the hot zone that Arenado has had against the Giants since 2012. And Red is above Major League average, and in some instances way above. Look what he does inside. Wow.
Buster Posey's going to go out.
Arenado will hit into double plays. He's hit into 7 this year.
Hit one in the first inning. Hit a sharp ground ball to Tejada.
That's 8. Doesn't lead the team though. DJ LeMahieu has hit into 13. And that leads it.
Oh, 2. So Buster Posey set that pitch up inner half of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Cueto a long look to second. Blocked by Buster Posey. 1 and 2.
It's a big play right there. Good block. Keep that force in order. The way that Cueto's been able to get ground balls tonight. Keeping those guys at first and second huge. Sinker down the dirt. Turn that glove up. Block the hole between your legs. Get down on your knees and use your chest protector as your glove. Slightly bent over at the chest or at the waist, whether with your chest. Ball drops straight down. That was perfect technique.
A long run for Williamson, and it's going to be foul.
Wow. Not by much.
Not by much.
I thought off the bat of Arenado, that's automatic fair. So how foul was it? Foot.
So Arenado back in the box. Got him.
Front door cut. And he leaves him standing. And that's the first strikeout tonight for Cueto. You can see the little cutter just working its way on the inside corner, right between the knees. And Posey frames it in. Nice pitch.
Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez opened up the second inning with a single. Blackman at second, LeMahieu at first. So Cueto wants to talk to Buster Posey.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you got a guy up there with lots of power. Guy you want to be careful with. You know, talk it over to your catcher, talk about pitch, talk about your location.
So everybody's set. Outside. May have been that's where Buster Posey wanted it. Story to follow. 2-0.
That's what Johnny Cueto wanted. Tried to go inside corner with the fastball, bring it right back in by way of the front door, just a bit inside. Drake says, no, not for me. That's not a strike.
Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's not a Friday night. It's a Wednesday night. Still lots of good attitude.
Oh, always. Mile-an-hour cut just off the plate in. The way that Gonzalez took those 2 pitches inside tells me he's not looking inside. He's a middle away guy. I mean, he likes to get extended. That's where his power is. And he can cover 6 inches off the plate away and still hit you out of the ballpark.
So that loads the bases. It's 2 singles, a strikeout, and a walk. And here's Trevor Story.
Now the 2-0 lead, you're not going to see the infield come in, so they're going to be a double play depth. And I think Johnny Cueto just was respectful of the power of Gonzalez, and I think he'd rather pitch to a right-handed hitter. Those batters face never allowing a grand slam. 138. That is active. He is on top of the heap. Kane, Lincecum, Duke, Kershaw.
Right back in the strike zone, and it's 0-1. Blackman, LeMahieu, and Gonzalez. They're your base runners here in the 4th inning. Out of play, 0-2. So Cueto always can find that little extra. That was at 93.
Well, you're right. I mean, in situations like this, bases loaded or 2 strike counts, that's when you see his best velocities. And we've seen him as high as 95.
there's the waste pitch. It's 1-2.
Clean the palate. Clean the palate of the eye. Eye wash, as Bruce Bochy likes to call it. Throwing everything down around the knees. Throw it up around the shoulders. Just kind of give him something else to look at, then go back down.
On the ground, Tejada. Tejada to Green. Green to Bell. Not in time.
Well, Giants are going to look at it, but I do think he beat it out. Story runs well. Yeah, that's not coming back. Just too much foot speed from Story in the back end. See the speed of Story. I mean, he gets it going. It's 4.2 speed, and that's pretty big backswing too. He had to get unwound to get going.
There's Descalzo with runners at the corners.
Okay,
nice block. 1 ball and no strikes.
Great block. Runner third. Descalzo out of UC Davis baseball program. It's a good program.
One and 0. And that's foul. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Simon Tickman having a ball down there, making friends. Good job, Simon. That's it.
23 pitches this inning for Cueto. Two balls and 1 strike.
Pitch count was really low the first 3 innings for Cueto. He had 28 after 3. And normally you want to be 45 or less after 3, so it gives you an idea of how far under he was the acceptable amount of pitches. So even though this pitch count has gone long this inning, he's still underneath where he should be. Good throw, good tag. Story just did get back in. He's got 5 steals on the year. It's close.
Three and 2. He's got Barnes on deck. Again, it's like you said, he may choose the pitch to the right-hander. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Cueto works through it, allows the 1 run. Giants are coming up.
by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Well, the Giants Insider Podcast is live on CSNBayArea.com. Log on each week as Insider Alex Pavlovich will talk baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. It's also available on iTunes.
Crawford knocked in a run with a base hit in the first inning. And he's going to take a pitch just a bit high. Matt Williamson and then Tejada. The Orioles and Dodgers played 14 innings today. And the Dodgers did the Orioles a favor and played a day game on getaway day.
I didn't know they did that.
I did not either.
Both teams struck out 18 times in that game.
Wow. 3-0.
That's a lot of strikeouts.
That's a lot of strikeouts. What did Utley have? 6 hits?
6 hits. Last time a Dodger had 6 hits, Sean Green did it. Milwaukee had 4 home runs that day, too.
Yeah, that was a really good day that Sean Green had.
Yeah, it was. I liked him as a player. He was a good player.
Crawford, it's a high fly ball, right center field. Gonzalez on the move, and Gonzalez is going to make the running catch. And that's what you get in this ballpark.
And Brandon Crawford just got AT&T'd. This is ball good. I mean, it's got backspin, it's got carry, it's getting pushed from the wind, and despite all that, Gonzalez runs it down. Gonzalez, 3-time Gold Glover. He can cover some ground. Good play.
Here's Mac Williamson. By the way, the Orioles did beat the Dodgers in that game. Williamson with a big swing and a miss. Williamson asked for time. On deck is Tejada. Both teams with 4 hits. Tap foul, 1-2. Giants last night had 6 hits. The game on Monday, the 4th of July, they had 5.
Break them all in the dirt. Williamson manages to check a swing. Walters wanted a high fastball above the letters, and De La Rosa shook it off. He wanted to come down out of the strike zone below the zone.
Is saying that he fouled it and then it hit the dirt, and he's getting no response from Rob Drake.
Well, it's not something you can challenge to see if he caught a piece.
It's hard to tell.
If he did, the ball didn't move. It was a piece of red fuzz on one of the seams he may have caught.
So it ends up being a strikeout. That's the 3rd strikeout for De La Rosa. And here's Ruben Tejada. And
Breaking ball, maybe high.
You see the way that Tejada took that pitch. He got that foot down early. He was looking for a fastball. He was not looking for that big balloon curveball.
Swing and a foul. Pretty healthy rip from a little guy. 1 ball to 1 strike.
Yeah, he lets it go.
Let it fly, baby.
He's got some pop.
Yep. Get the spirit.
Gamer babes are here.
Hit out to Gonzalez. And this will end the inning. 1, 2, 3 inning. 5th inning coming up. 2-1 Giants.
Championship tees off this July at Cordoval. Tickets and more at 2016USWomen'sOpen.com.
Giants with a 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. Bottom 3 for the Rockies. It'll be Barnes, Walters, and De La Rosa. Barnes popped out in the 3rd. And it's 2-0.
Barnes, no gloves. It's so totally different for a hitter to get his hands prepared for the season without gloves than it is with gloves. When you hit without gloves, you're going to have calluses on your hands, and calluses, you have to pay attention to them. You got to shave them down. You can't let a blister fester up underneath a callus.
2-2.
No gloves is work. But a lot of guys like Barnes, like Connor Gillespie, they don't like the feel of the bat with gloves on. They want to feel the wood with their bare hands.
Hit out to Angel Pagan in center field, and Barnes will be retired. They'll join us on Friday, the 29th, our Wine Fest presented by Lofield, the wines of Lodi. You get a special pregame package, and make sure you get that special event ticket to get the package. And the Giants will also play the Nationals on that day. sfgiants.com/special events. Made it sound like the wine thing was more important, and oh, by the way, the Giants are playing too. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Well,
It's the game, and then it just so happens there's a wine fest.
slow die wines are pretty good. I mean, I can see why you could mess up your priorities that day, perhaps. How long did it take for you to get your hands in shape for spring training?
We're not invited. Pretty much the whole time. I didn't like calluses. I thought they hurt my hands defensively. You lose a feel for it. So I tried to stay away from them. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But you do get them on your 2 throwing fingers, and that's a good thing. Just can't make sure that you just have to make sure that they don't get so thick that you don't feel the ball. Got him. He quick pitched him and he got him. Check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, Brandon Belt has a shot at making the 2016 All-Star team. He is part of the final vote, and he's got something to say about it. It's our Geico quote of the evening. He said, "I hope I can sneak in. It would be an awesome experience and something I'll never forget. I have a lot of faith in our fans. They know how to vote well, and the Giants, yeah, they know how to market someone." Brandon Belt already in first place today. Keep voting. Go to sfgiants.com/vote. Get that baby giraffe down there, guys.
I've said this from the very first day I ever watched an All-Star game. Every All-Star game needs a giraffe.
Especially in a city with a great zoo.
You walk right out of the zoo. Look at, there's a giraffe. Must have come from the zoo. Swing. I'm going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yep, she's got the spirit. I used to say every All-Star game deserved a panda, and it worked.
That's true.
One and 2.
Well, and it's not like Brandon Belt tries to hide the nickname. He is fun to be around. Lucille, big baby giraffe fan. And there's little giraffes all around this ballpark.
We run out of animals. 1 and 2. Parker, Cueto, and Pagan will hit in the bottom of this inning. Two and 2. So
well, as far as getting pitches out of Johnny Cueto, this has been a pretty good at bat for De La Rosa. He's good, pretty good hitter. Hitting 188 on the air. I mean, you do that as a pitcher, you're having a good season with the bat.
Crawford will throw out De La Rosa for the 2nd time. Giants trying to add on, and it'll be Parker to lead things off.
time for the NorCal Acura Grand Slam giveaway on CSN. And Ken Bradley, you are the man today. You will win an Acura MDX if a Giants player hits a Grand Slam this inning. So go to AcuraNorCalDealers.com for more information on how to enter.
So Parker is going to lead things off. Oh, what do we have here, Mikey? You ever have a little watermelon in your beer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe tomorrow.
21st Amendment's got a good watermelon beer.
I'm suggesting that for you tomorrow.
And we have two.
It is a day off tomorrow. Parker takes a strike. Parker broke his bat and singled in front of Carlos Gonzalez in the second inning. Johnny Cueto on deck. There's a swing that I don't know if Parker was trying, but only with Arenado on the left side. It almost looked like he was trying to take that breaking ball the other way.
I like that swing. Watch the head stay down through this. Stays inside the pitch. Good balance through the swing. He just missed that one. You're right. If he hits that ball, it's going to left field.
Hit to Blackman, who was playing him perfectly. 1 out. Here's Cueto. Johnny Cueto picked up his third hit of the season. With a line drive into center field in the second. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Cueto shows bunt, 0-2.
Always entertaining, never boring. And that was how you would describe Johnny Cueto on the mound in the batter's box.
On the ground to short. Story has it. Cueto ran down the line like his feet hurt. And if that's the case, then you just got to take it easy. If they hurt, they hurt.
Gotta save it. You don't want to expend too much energy running down that baseline. Yeah, that's about right.
Here's Pagan. And Pagan takes a strike.
It was a long time. Watch who is faster. Walters backing up the play or Johnny Cueto?
Johnny Cueto did not know it was a race. If he didn't know it was a race, it would have at least been a tie. There's a line drive foul down the left field line.
You know, the funny thing about it is that Johnny Cueto moves well. I mean, he can get down the line. And we've seen him really break out the speed going down that 90-foot path. I don't know if he's the fastest of the Giants pitchers. I have to believe that Jeff Samardzija has that distinction.
I think you're probably right.
Samardzija, one of the fastest guys still on the team.
De La Rosa is doing what he does a lot. He struggled in the first 2 innings and now is in a good rhythm. Hit up the middle. Caron's past Arenado, and Pagan is aboard.
That hit off the foot of De La Rosa. They're going to come out and take a look at it. Rob Drake, the plate umpire, is walking out there. That's right off the right foot. So De La Rosa says, I'm fine. Hit on the top of the foot. I don't think it hit on a toe. At least
had a click to it, though. Green walked in the first and scored, struck out swinging in the third. See if Pagan tries to steal a bag. He's got 7. He's only been thrown out once. And a strike, and it's 0-1. Giants would love to get Belt to the plate. Belt has hit the ball hard twice in this game.
best arm in the outfield for the Rockies tonight is in right field with Carlos Gonzalez. Not an easy outfield to hit a ball through the gaps on. They cover distance. If you could put one through the gaps with Pagan's speed, the 2-out jump, he would score. And you can see how the Rockies are taking away Triple's alley to try and prevent that.
Hit out into right center field, but Blackman, ball starting to take off, and Blackman runs it down, and that's going to end the inning. Not in this part. 6th inning coming up. In 2010, Madison Bumgarner picked up his first win in his career. He beat the Brewers in Milwaukee. 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. He threw 115 pitches. This is a series where the Giants won all 4.
Raw boned and lean.
And it was the series that Buster Posey went off. And he'd been named the starter behind the plate only a couple of days prior to that. Blackman takes a strike.
It really was a changing of the guards. Bengie Molina had been the catcher, and now all of a sudden the rookie takes over the team.
Hit out into center field for Pagan, and Pagan will put it away. I remember Buster Posey and Bengie when they were together. Buster played a lot of first base. And then on our flight to Denver, the Giants found out, and so did Bengie, that he was going to be traded. Giants played 3 games in Denver and then went to Milwaukee, where they just started it all. That really was the start of a terrific ending. Here's LeMahieu. Yeah, 9 for 15 with 4 home runs in that Milwaukee series. Have a series, kid. There's a call strike.
Well, I mean, it's not often you can justify expectation in one series. Okay, but he did.
Goodness. Yes, he caught Bumgarner with that game we just saw you. And our McDonald's true story. The beginning of 3 world championships with Buster Posey starting every one of the games in all of the postseason in 2010, 12, and 14. And then to watch him in Game 7 of the World Series in 2014, he was out of gas. But boy, did he do a great job behind the plate.
Yeah. It's a gut check to go that deep into the year, especially if you're a catcher. Very physical.
Got him.
Right at the base of the strike zone, and Rob Drake says that'll be all. Grab some pine. Meat.
So here's Arenado.
2-seam fastball. Just sort of tucked into the strike zone by Buster Posey.
By the way, we were out of gas too.
Yeah. But what a fun way to
What a great way to empty it.
empty the tank.
Strike to Arenado. It's no balls and 1 strike. Hits this one out to Mac Williamson. Williamson in front of the wall, and he makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. Cueto saying something to Arenado.
Bay Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. By Xfinity, X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Here we have reached the bottom of the 6th inning. Belt, Posey, Crawford. And the first pitch is down low. 1 ball and no strikes.
De La Rosa just can't seem to upset the timing of the lower body of Belt. Belt scored him up twice tonight. Triple off the wall and right. Well hit ball to left, close to the fence.
Belt may have thought that pitch was high. 1 ball and 1 strike. How about the Pirates? They beat the Cardinals tonight. They said that Carpenter left that game because of possible oblique injury. He is headed to the All-Star game, and if he is injured, an infielder that could be replaced. Not hoping for that, but if that does happen, I think that maybe Brandon Crawford would have a shot.
He'd have to be considered.
Because he deserves to be there.
And that's our humble opinion.
3-1 to Belt. 3-2 to Belt. Anyway, the Pirates won that game, and the Pirates now have won 7 straight. They were really struggling when the Giants saw them in Pittsburgh. And they're about ready to get Garrett Cole back, too. Got him. So De La Rosa comes back after falling behind 3-1. We mentioned that Cueto and Arenado were exchanging pleasantries, and that's what they were, pleasantries.
I think he may have said, you know what, that's probably out in your ballpark. Here it's a big league hang with him.
Buster Posey's 0 for 2. And he takes low.
Arenado and Cueto will be teammates next Tuesday. Good changeup. The nights that De La Rosa gets that changeup going, I mean, it just makes every other pitch that he has look better, especially the fastball.
Buster hits one high, hits it deep. It is out of here. And it's 3-1. And that's the second lifetime home run Buster Posey has against Jorge De La Rosa.
They tried to go inside. I really think that they made the pitch they wanted to make. I think this pitch was off the plate in. And Buster Posey stays inside it beautifully and just unloads, and he hits it the way my partner likes to see him hit.
Matt Williams style.
Matt Williams style.
Here's Crawford. And Crawford got a piece, and it's no balls and 1 strike. I always love watching a catcher. He hits a home run, and then he gets to celebrate by
putting on his tools of ignorance.
Get after those shin guards. Crawford bluffs a bunt.
I'd like to know who coined the phrase "the tools of ignorance" in reference to the equipment that a catcher puts on. Had to be a catcher.
Well, you hope it's a catcher, and clearly it's said facetiously.
Well, I'm sure it was on a night he got hit on the toe twice, one on the shoulder and one on the mask. The equipment for the catchers has really improved dramatically. You go take a look at some of the equipment that they wore back in the 20s, the 30s, and 40s. That's back when they were manly men on a ship of men doing the catching.
2-1.
And they still get dinged.
I've said this before. There's a Sports Illustrated cover of Yogi Berra with all his gear on, and he's in a squad, and it's probably from the 50s. And the gear he had on looked like gear that they use in Little League.
Yeah.
Pulled on the ground to LeMahieu, and that'll be out number 2. The knee guards and shin guards were small. The chest protector was small. The mask was small.
They didn't even have a hinge in their glove.
Not to mention the glove.
Yeah, the position definitely has evolved.
And I'm sure a lot of it then had to do with weight. You know, the bigger they got in those days, obviously the heavier it was going to be. Now they can do so much more. Mac Williamson takes a pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Oh, the shin guards, I mean, they've really beefed those things up. And the shoulder protectors that they have on their chest protector, they've extended the chin so you can protect your throat. You pick up a big league catcher's mask now, it probably weighs half of what it used to weigh.
Absolutely.
And everybody wears a helmet, either an old style helmet like Walton here, or the hockey style mask that Buster Posey wears.
And a bolt down the third base line. And Mac Williamson will have a 2-out double. He had a little leverage, so he leaned on this one.
He tries to come inside, and Williamson just says, "I'll have none of that." And how do you get it past Nolan Arenado? You got to hit it 112 miles an hour.
We did the rap the other day in Arizona, and John really loves the miles per hour off the bat.
Exit velocity.
He loves that. Williamson hit a ball that came off the bat at 117 miles per hour. And the way John said it, it made us laugh so hard. We actually made him say it like 2 or 3 different times. 103.
He is a joy to be around, folks. John Miller.
Tejada is bounced out and flied out. And it's no balls and 1 strike. A little backdoor from De La Rosa. 117 was pretty impressive.
Yeah, can't deny. And it was actually caught.
Yeah, it wasn't even a hit. Now, De La Rosa's got a base open. He can fool around with Tejada if he wants. He's got Parker, a left-handed hitter, on deck. So that's his choice. And even after that, he's got Cueto. Instead, he's going to go after Tejada, and Story throws him out. Giants pick up a run, and it's Buster Posey's 11th home run of the year. As De La Rosa tried to sneak one inside, and Buster said, "Nope, I'll have none of that." It's bye-bye, baby. 3-1 Giants. by your local Toyota dealer. Cueto and De La Rosa have both been good. Arenado's 0 for 3. Buster Posey a solo home run. Belt knocked in a run with a triple, and Crawford a run with a base hit. And that's our Toyota game summary, as this is an opening inning base hit for Carlos Gonzalez.
Change up first pitch, going right back up the middle.
Brett Favre's still here.
Brett Favre looks good in the baseball cap.
He does. Although his wife can pull it off too.
Yep. Hall of Famer.
Trevor Story is bounced out twice. And here he shoots one foul down the right field line and out of play. Five hits for the Rockies, 7 hits for the Giants. Cueto with 83 pitches. Out of play again. Cueto had that inning, the 4th inning, where he gave up the run, really had to pitch out of some trouble. Threw around 30 pitches in that inning. And then back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings until the leadoff single here by Gonzalez. He got him. Time to talk to Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, we have a brand new Amy G's Giants exclusives. It is ready at csnbarrier.com, and it is brought to you by First 5 California. We get to sit down with Javi Lopez. He and his wife Renee are doing a wonderful job with their 2 babies. You get to know a little bit more about Javi as well, including what instruments he played growing up and how his dad, being a retired FBI agent, is going to come in handy when his daughter starts to date. You can check it out at csnbarrier.com, guys.
All right, thanks, Amy. Here's Descalzo. And he takes a strike. Descalzo bounced out to Belt in the 2nd inning, and then he struck out looking in the 4th.
Giants take away the middle with Crawford playing just a few steps back of second base.
And a bit off the plate to Daniel Descalzo. Backdoored him 1 and 2.
It's just so subtle, the movement he brings in that outside corner. Now the pitch prior to this one, he threw 2-seam movement that went off the plate away. Then he comes out a little bit wider than that last one, yet he has movement coming back into the plate with that cut, and it freezes Descalzo, who's been hot.
Got him.
And he cuts him flat above the hands, and a swing through strikeout, his 6th of the night.
Barnes is popped out, and he's hit a fly ball to Angel Pagan. He's 0 for 2.
Gonzalez Germain heading down to the Rockies pen. He's got up every night in this series.
Swing, no balls and 1 strike.
Well, I don't know if they have their gloves, but I do have a good view of that line.
Yes, they do. Very high. No balls and 1 strike. Cueto's going to take a little walk. He likes to work quickly, but he did take a break. Here with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember his last start in Arizona. He was sick. He had, just wasn't feeling right. He thought he was going to have to throw up. I don't know about you, but when you think you have to throw up doing anything, it's not any fun. I don't care what you're doing. High 3-1, and he managed to survive the first couple of innings in Arizona, and then went on to pitch really well.
Yeah, he gave up 3 in the first. Going to be a solo home run a couple of innings later. Then that was it. And when he got the lead in the 6th inning, he just shut it down.
Three and 1. 3 and 2.
Reaching back for 93. And that's the beauty of a 2-run lead. I mean, he's not afraid to challenge either. I mean, he can do a lot of things with the baseball, but he's got a lot of confidence in the fastball.
A good look on some, on others not so much. Runner goes, swinging a high pop up into center field for Pagan, and that'll end the inning. Rockies waste a leadoff single. Giants are coming up. All right, thanks, Dave. Here it's a 3-1 lead for the Giants, as Jarrett Parker's going to lead things off. Parker tonight is lined out and he's singled. And a check swing strike.
First pitch changeup. This time through the lineup, we've seen De La Rosa use a lot of that changeup. It's been good.
Cueto on deck, and then Pagan. Parker takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You talked about how deliberate De La Rosa is. And he's actually quickened it up a little bit, because he used to have a pause in his windup. He'd lift that right leg up and he'd hold it there for a brief second. He's kind of softened that up a little bit.
Maybe it's because it's getaway day for the Rockies.
Maybe that's how he gets quick. But he would get up on his back leg, and it's almost like he was posing for a picture. Pause, and then he'd come home at you. But it was his way of staying on that back leg and not jumping out with that front side.
Got him. Actually, Mike Tyler Anderson, who started on Monday, pauses more now than De La Rosa does.
Yeah, he does.
Pitcher, number 47, Johnny Cueto.
Here's Johnny Cueto. 1 for 2. Runs up and he swings and misses, and it's 0-1. He might like to take on Arenado just for fun.
Bunt?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was going to go down to third, but Arenado just kind of waved him off like, take a hike.
Seriously? Well, I really wouldn't be surprised if he tried to 0-2 bunt.
Rolls this one fair. 2 outs.
A swinging bunt.
He smiles at De La Rosa.
That's something Orel Hershiser used to do. He used to bunt with 2 strikes.
It's
He's
not
a
a
good
bad
bunter.
play. It's not a bad play.
It isn't, if you're a good bunter. Hey. Now, who rules the roost is what I need to know about this family.
I can tell you right now, it's not Dad. Dad lost his privileges, about what, 8-9 months ago?
Yeah.
You find out where you are when you're dead in the pecking order, and it's kind of right below the dog.
All those breakfasts you used to get made for you, gone.
There's a called strike. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
But no complaints.
No, hey, I was fine with it. I know you were too.
Absolutely.
Pagan singled in the 5th. Singled off of De La Rosa's foot. Shoots this one to left, but right there is Barnes, and that's going to end the inning. We've played 7. It's 3-1 Giants.
Orange Friday Happy Hour presented by Lagunitas. Your special event package will include admission to a pregame party featuring music from Neon Velvet, as well as your first beverage and a ticket to the Giants game against the D-backs. So you want to go to sfgiants.com/special events for more information.
It'll be Walters, a pinch hitter, and then Charlie Blackmon here in the 8th. This will be pitch number 96, and it's hit high and fouled down the left field line and out of play. Walters 0 for 2. Bumgarner watching. And it's high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Watching, appreciating what he is watching. One of his rotation mates, Johnny Cueto.
Christian Adames is on deck. So Cueto again takes a little bit more time in between the last pitch and this one. Hit out to Parker. 1 out.
The all-important first out of an inning. Get the first strike on a hitter, get the first out of an inning, score the first run of a game. That's the magic equation to success.
Adames had a pinch hit on Monday, and then he had a pinch hit appearance yesterday, and he drew a walk. Here he takes a strike.
You've got Termon up again, joined by Jason Mott. Yeah, now that's some whipped cream right there. You got to give that guy a tip.
You think that was for Junior or for Mom?
I think both. I want that guy making my hot chocolate.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. He bunts at it. Maybe got a piece of it. It's 1-2.
Oh yeah, that will be shared. Maybe you have the whole section.
One ball and 2 strikes.
Tried to cut the outside corner, left a little wide.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Ball back. I guess there is some speculation that Terry Collins could have Cueto start the All-Star game for the national team.
Wouldn't be a bad choice. And he'll be rested.
And you have your own guy actually in the same position as Noah Syndergaard is. So that's in the dirt. It's 3-2. Cueto has walked 1. That was Gonzalez in the 4th. Romo headed down to the bullpen. It's 3-2. And a swing and a foul back.
Adames not fooled on that swing. Sergio Romo.
As you like to say, that's the beauty of having a 2-run lead. You throw a pitch where a guy's upset if he doesn't hit it.
Put the pressure on the hitter, absolutely.
Breaks his bat. Green to Bell. And here's Blackmon. Blackmon is 1 for 3.
Had a nice first half. 306 on base percentage of 373. I mean, you'll love that from your leadoff hitter. Plus, he's got some pop. Other guy really could have had strong consideration for the All-Star team. That doesn't matter. Whoever you pick for the All-Star team, somebody's going to have their feelings hurt. Somebody's going to deserve to go and not get to go. It's just the way it is every year.
Big swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
But what really does rub me the wrong way is when somebody says a guy that is picked doesn't deserve to go. That fries me.
0-1. 0-2.
Perfect cut. Wrap around that outside corner at the knees. Now you can go right in that outside corner again with 2-seam movement going the other way, and Blackmon's got to cover it. They want to go in.
Got him. Strikeout number 7 for Johnny Cueto. Giants are coming up.
All right, time now for our Ford Right Choice. We think Buster Posey qualifies for that. And why do we say that? Well, his solo shot with 1 out in the 6th inning made a 2-1 game, a 3-1 game. It's his 11th on the year. And he hits them the way my partner likes to call them. High and far. That's our Ford Right Choice.
Here's German facing Grant Green. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
German, 31st time he's come in. He's been a workhorse. Played good stuff. Low to mid-90s with the fastball. He'll cut it and sink it. Hard slider and a changeup.
Belt, and then Posey, then Crawford. Out of play. Two and two.
You're watching Walters, the catcher, position his target and tap his glove on the ground. And when you do that, it's pretty much tipping. You're calling a breaking ball for the most part, because you don't ever ask for a fastball down on the ground with your sign as a catcher. Likewise, if you give a high target, that tips it. You're throwing a fastball. You never give a high target with your glove when you're throwing a breaking ball. So you got to be careful.
Sharply on the ground, and Story from deep short, and his throw is high, and Green is aboard. I might give Green a hit.
I think they did. I think that's the right call.
So here's Crawford.
It took Story into the outfield about 2.5, 3 steps. Now he's got a good arm, but Green putting pressure on him, perhaps hurried the throw a bit.
So here's Belt. Belt is 1 for 3. Hits one high and deep into left center field. Blackmon on the move. It's off the bottom of the wall. Belt's got another double, and the Giants are in business, second and third, with nobody out.
Now, 3 of his 4 at-bats tonight, he has absolutely barreled the ball. A triple in the first inning, hit the ball to the wall left. And here, a 2-seam fastball just left right out over the middle. He backspins it over the head of Charlie Blackmon in left center. And hitting it over the head of Blackmon's not an easy thing to do.
I thought he was going to catch it.
I did too.
I mean, I didn't say I thought he should have caught it. I just thought he was.
Well, doubles before all break. Giants all-time leaders Brandon Belt is on the list with Posey, Aaron Rowan, Jeff Kent, 1 behind Kent, and a weekend of baseball yet to play.
Buster Posey at the plate with the infield in. In the dirt. Here comes Green. 4-1 Giants. Belt to third.
Well, Tony Waters got eaten up for this. And he's a good ball blocker. We saw him put on a clinic when we were in Colorado, blocking balls. The ball bounces way high. He tries to slide a body in front of it. Not a whole lot he can do. So the Giants get a run for free. That's going to take the bat out of the hands of Buster Posey.
What? So they're going to walk Buster Posey.
It is a peculiar call because there's not a left-hander down in the bullpen. There's another righty getting ready to rip. Brandon Crawford leads this team in RBIs with 54. But Walt Weiss just wants to stay away from Posey. He's seen the swing and he doesn't want to mess with it. But it does raise questions.
Crawford 1 for 3.
It does sag the middle infielders back. But the infield's still playing short.
Crawford will jump on that first pitch. It's low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, and if you're Crawford, you got to feel challenged.
Swing. I'm going to miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good changeup. Better to see that pitch on the first strike than the third strike.
Absolutely. Out of play down the left field line. Mac Williamson's on deck. Germán now can go for the strikeout. And this is lifted out to Gonzalez, deep enough with Belt at third. So Belt's going to score. Crawford gets the RBI, and it's 5-1.
Nice at bat.
Well, I think Walt Weiss got close to what he wanted accomplished. You strike out Crawford, and now you got the rookie Mac Williamson coming up, but Crawford dug it out. And Walt Weiss is going to make the move. So Chad Qualls is coming in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back. Hey, it's his birthday.
Tomorrow off, then they open up a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's going to be Jeff Samardzija taking on the lefty Patrick Corbin on Friday night. It's a 7 o'clock game. You can see the pregame live at 6:30 right here on CSN Bay Area. Plus, complete pre- and post-game coverage. And Giants insider Alex Pavlovich. The home of the authentic Giants fans is right here on CSN.
Well, it'll be Qualls facing Mac Williamson, who's 1 for 3.
36 hits allowed, 24 innings. Qualls has had a rough spell. And he's right. You're going to see a good hard sink, low 90s with a slider.
And a strike. Ruben Tejada to follow. And another strike. So now Mac Williamson has seen 2 pitches. San Diego's putting a whipping on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's 13-4. That game is in the ninth.
Diamondbacks, like the Giants, will also get tomorrow off.
What did I say? Dodgers and Padres tomorrow.
That's
correct?
right. In Los Angeles. San Diego continues their road trip right into LA.
Swing. Struck him out. All right. Without traffic, San Diego to Los Angeles drive.
2 hours.
So if you were a player, I guess you probably wouldn't stay at home. You wouldn't take a chance because of traffic.
You know, it's really 2 hours with a little light traffic. I mean, you can make it an hour and 40. So
Drive to win.
yeah, P. Santangelo, he'd make it in 55 minutes.
Here's Tejada, and he takes down low.
But that's the key. I mean, you got to leave at 3 in the morning if you want to beat the traffic.
You want to make sure you get there on time. Tejada is 0 for 3. Buster goes, and the throw, and Buster Posey is now 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts this year.
Well, if they're not going to pay any attention to you, you're going to get 5 steps on the jump. I mean, if you're Tony Walters, you got to be upset at Qualls. Qualls didn't even look at Posey. Posey just says, all right, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. 5 for 5.
So now Tejada's got a shot. And he rolls this one to third. Arenado barehands it, and it's a foul ball. So all for naught.
One of the best foul balls I've ever seen.
Entertaining. As entertaining as Arenado can be.
And you got to go through with the play. It watches it into the bare hand, then off the right foot. Flip a little one hopper, and again, Descalso digs it out nicely. Just to put the 5 stolen bases in perspective for Posey. In the last 4 years combined, he's got 5 stolen bases.
He's faster this year.
Yeah. Got to fill out your all-star resume.
Swing. And a miss. He got him, and that'll end the inning. Giants add on. They pick up 2 runs here in the 8th. So we will go to the 9th. It's 5-1 Giants.
Crowd cheer tonight as Johnny Cueto comes back on the mound. This is how it started out. He had a strikeout in the first, or the fourth, 2 strikeouts in the fourth. He got 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth with LeMahieu. He got Story and Descalzo in the 7th inning. And he got Charlie Blackmon to end things in the 8th. A 7 strikeout performance, and he is back on the mound trying to pitch a complete game against this Rockies team.
Lopez and Casilla are in the bullpen. And LeMahieu takes a called strike. LeMahieu has a couple of singles. And he runs the next pitch in tight to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now the terms of engagement right now is defined by Bruce Bochy is if he gets a runner on, he's out. He will not be allowed to get back in the stretch.
Roll foul. It's 1-2.
But this is his call. I mean, he wants to get back out there. He wants the complete game.
Tried to get LeMahieu to chase a pitch down. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arenado on deck. And then Gonzalez. This is the tough spot in this Rockies batting order as Cueto now agrees with Posey. Got him.
Change up.
8 strikeouts.
Just perfect arm action, identical to that of the fastball. Completely sold the pitch with the crack of the whip. And LeMahieu out front and overmatched.
Here's Arenado. And he takes a strike. Arenado 0 for 3. The last ball he hit was to the wall in right field. That was caught by Mac Williamson. And he shoots this one on the ground to Crawford. 2 down. Cueto a little fun with Arenado as he went down the line, and here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez has been on base 3 times. On the ground, it'll be Belt. Belt flips it to Cueto, and that's the ball game. So the Giants end up taking 2 out of 3, and they do it tonight behind a terrific performance by Johnny Cueto.
Now we're going to make him the player of the game, brought to you by Honda, and he was masterful in a big league stop job. Got the Giants back in the win column after a very emotional loss last night. 16th career complete game for Cueto with an 8 strikeout performance. And he is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda. And I mean, he did it in his own way with his own style. And boy, this first half of this season, he has absolutely won the hearts of San Francisco.
So the Giants now are 2-1 on this homestand. 3 more starting on Friday night against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And this is a night series win. Final score, Giants 5, Rockies 1. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews on the wrap starts right now.